In August 2013, Kenya and Uganda agreed to put up a 1,518-kilometer-long pipeline to transport crude oil from both countries for export. The crude oil pipeline will run from Uganda's oil fields in Kabale and Hoima near Lake Albert, passing through the north of Lake Choga to the Uganda-Kenya border. In Kenya, the pipeline will run from the Lokichar oil basin and pass through Isiolo and Garissa before terminating in Lamu, where Kenya's second port is being built.
We do know that there is an initial proposal to have a refinery at Isiolo and also to have a petrochemical complex, or what we can call a refinery plus, in Lamu. We also know that there will be other oil-related investments, infrastructure investments, in the oil fields or in Turkana County.
The port will be implemented as part of the multi-billion shillings Lamu Port South Sudan-Ethiopia Transport Corridor project, which will open a second transport route that will traverse the larger part of northern Kenya.
We are opening up 70% of the country's land space. We are opening up 70% space for economic activities, for investments, for living, and for everything. That again changes the entire national economic dynamics.
The Kenya-Uganda crude oil pipeline will be designed to ferry 300,000 barrels of oil per day, 200,000 from Uganda and the remaining 100,000 from Kenya. However, the pipeline will be designed to allow for an additional 130,000 barrels of oil per day from South Sudan.
In fact, the oil fields are now having active development works because the tanks have been constructed, 50,000 barrel capacity tanks for doing test pumping. We have the oil wells already drilled, and the pumping is actually now testing how this oil can be produced.
And as to what the flagship project will cost, initial estimates put it at 469 billion shillings. That money is expected to be raised from a variety of sources, which include loans as well as long-term funds raised from strategic and retail investors. It will cost at least 13 billion shillings to keep the pipeline running every year. Costly as the project may sound, the project's benefits are expected to far outweigh its costs with the entry of a new source of revenue. With Kenya and Uganda having agreed to implement the project without any further delay, what remains to be seen is how soon the much-needed financing for the project will be marshaled to get the project off the paper onto the ground. Stephen Kimani, Citizen Live at 1.